edition of Wednesday Night Live here on the Mike Avery Outdoors social media outlets, Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo as well. How are you this evening? Nice to have you along with us. How was your day since we talked this morning? Let's see if I can get my click to expand. And I want to get my comments up here. Hello, my friends. There we go. Ross Elliott, Julie, nice to have you along with us. Good evening, Ross. How are you? Hello, Jen. Hey, it was nice talking with Taylor. Your name came up many times today during the conversation, as you can probably imagine. My name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live here on the Mike Avery Outdoors social media outlets. All right, and I want to see if I can get my comments bigger so I don't have to wear some glasses. Hey, Ray, how are you this evening? There we go. That looks pretty good. Pretty good. It is Wednesday evening. Hello, Roger. How are things over in Wisconsin? We got Jason Wolverton tonight from the Forward Corporation. We've got Roger Neeson from Angler Quest. We have Ross Elliott, the guy who's going to go. And we have Scott Buttrick. Okay, Ross, you're off the hook because Scott is here with us. Dave Mason's with us. Dan checking in from General RV. We got a good crew tonight. Again, my name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. Glad to have you along with us tonight. What is in the Yeti? Just Crystal Light. Captain Mark is with us. Scott Gatz is with us as well. Scott. Free fishing weekend. Yes, indeed it is. Free fishing weekend. You will not need a license to hunt or to fish anywhere here in the great state of Michigan. But remember, you still need to abide by all the fishing rules, all the regulations. Can't get away from that. I'm doing great, Doug. How are you? Hey, Mike Kelly. Fighting the good fight on the all things Saginaw Bay. Appreciate that. Jim checking in from Tennessee where he says there's a lot of rain. Dennis Bender, nice to have you along with us tonight. Tonight, we're going to give away a $25 gift certificate to the Lumberjack Restaurant. That's in preparation for our big Wednesday Night Live coming up on the 26th, which is what? Just 2 weeks away? Holy cow. Steve Thomas, how are you? Mike Critchfield, I used your, what do we call it? I used your Ask Avery question today as part of the Outdoor Magazine radio show. Your question about the NRC, the Natural Resource Commission, and I will talk more about that here in just a little bit on the Wednesday Night Live. Tom says, good evening. Well, what about Christine? Martin, how are you? I'm glad you're going to be able to be along with us up in West Branch at the Lumberjack. We're going to give away a $25 gift certificate here to the Lumberjack very shortly. And I'm going to go through some knives. We're going to talk a little knives tonight, a whole lineup of knives. And we're going to talk about those as the show progresses. There we go. I got a little bit of a delay, but that's not too bad. Hey, Brian, how are you? Nice to have you along with us. Well, great Wednesday evening to you as well, Brad. A couple of things. Yes, this is free fishing weekend. You will not need a license to fish anywhere in Michigan, but remember, you still have to abide by the rest of the hunting and fishing rules and regulations. Did you see my bear hunt? Is up here online. It's on the YouTube channel. It's here on the Facebook page. It's on my Vimeo channel. And it's my bear hunt in October with my Predator recurve bow. I finally edited that. And I'm actually pretty happy with the way it turned out. I was reluctant to get back into editing because I was so burned out about it, so burned out by it. I don't want to do that. I think I might have screwed that up, but we'll see. Nope, I'm still good. But I think it turned out very well, very well. Beautiful knife. I've got a lot of beautiful knives to show you tonight. Absolutely, Eric. A lot of beautiful knives. Knives, okay? First things first, let's talk about a little bit of business here first, okay? I want to talk about the so cool, yes, Sweet Bear Hunt. Haven't seen it yet. Well, you need to watch it, Mike. Good video. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Let's talk about the governor's appointment to the NRC, the Natural Resources Commission. His name is George Hartwell. It is not being received in a universally or unanimously positive light. Is that a bear mount over in the corner? It is. The bear mount is right there. One of these weeks, I'm going to take you around and show you my different bear mounts, or my different mounts here in the basement. I got a whole bunch of them, a ton of them, but not tonight. And that's a Gemsbuck. Yeah, I got a Gemsbuck in here. I got all kinds of critters in here with me. George Hartwell. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because I don't know him. I have some mutual acquaintance. I know people who know him who speak very highly of him. My concern is he does appear to be anti-gun. Now, that was in the frame of reference of guns in schools. I have not heard him say anything negative about guns and hunting. No sound? Bruce says no sound. I'm taking it, Bruce is the only one who doesn't have sound, right? Everybody else has got sound tonight? But I just feel like there's somebody more obviously pro hunting and fishing and guns and shooting and trapping and everything else. Ron says he's a wolf in the hen house. Well, you must be able to hear me. Yeah, John's got sound. Yeah, okay. I thought we had sound, loud and clear. Very good, very good. So Bruce, but everybody else has sound, Bruce. So what I'm going to say is turn up the volume however you're watching me. Because I am on Facebook tonight, the Mike Avery Outdoors Facebook page, the Mike Avery Outdoors YouTube channel, as well as the Mike Avery Outdoors Vimeo page. So we have sound tonight. I have my different speakers, or my different shots, and we're going to talk a little bit about knives, okay? I'm going to get to those in just a minute, but I want to follow up on this whole George Hartwell deal. The NRC is a 7-member panel appointed by the governor. So it is a political group. It's a political group that has authority over the DNR, that has authority over us. So you could question this whole process, but that's what it is. The governor has appointed a Democrat, and I say Democrat only because I'm not trying to bring politics into this, but the NRC has to be politically balanced. There can be no more than 4 Republicans or Democrats on the commission at one time. So she needed to put a Democrat on there. This George Hartwell guy, I saw a video of him online talking about how much he disliked guns, at least in a school situation. Now, I'm not sure how that pertains to a hunting situation, but it has certainly gotten a lot of people's attention. Gary, we're talking about the NRC and George Hartwell. And I know you're not a real fan of the NRC process in general. I don't know the guy, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the break. However, if you are feel very strongly about this and you don't like this appointment, you can express your concern to your Michigan senator. The Senate has to approve the appointment. They have, I think, something like 6 months here. So get in touch with your state senator and tell him you don't like this idea. If you don't do that, it's going to be a done deal. Ross said we should be able to vote on the NRC members to get into office. Never going to happen, Ross. Never going to happen. A reminder here, too. Coming up in, I'm going to change. I'll go to this camera. Coming up in 2 weeks, the 26th, we're doing a Wednesday night live at the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. We'd love to have you join us. Call for reservations, 989-343-0892. 989-343-0892. Michigan Brand's going to be there with us. 60 days, Dennis says. Thank you. Sad that Ohio has hunting figured out, but we keep kicking a brick wall. Paul is booked with a little one. Excellent, excellent. Here's who's going to be at our Wednesday Night Live. We're going to have Nick Grillo from Michigan Brand is going to be there giving away some product. I'm hoping some Mike Avery Hunter sticks. Ted Harpum of Darton will be there to give away a Darton crossbow. Ed Bolanowski of Speedy Blaze will be there demonstrating and giving away their products. Paul Perone of VersaSkins will be with us demonstrating his products, and he will have some giveaways as well. And then here, Scott Buttrick says he's very excited. Paul Phillips will be with us, one of the best extreme long-range shooters in the world. You've heard him on the Outdoor Magazine radio show. He will be with us that night. He will bring up one of his guns to show us what he's shooting 4 miles at. Jason Wolverton says he'll be there to give away some Forward Corporation gas cards as well. So this is Wednesday night, the 26th, here on Wednesday Night Live, but it's going to be at the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. We still have some openings, but call for reservations. 989-343-0892. 989-343-0892, and you can join us at the Lumberjack Restaurant. There is no cover charge. There is no fee for this. However, I'm not buying you dinner. You're gonna have to buy dinner yourself off the menu. But the prices are very, very reasonable. Dave Miner is going to be there. Chef Dave Miner is going to be there as well as a guest this time. Isn't that cool? 989-343-0892. So, in preparation of this, if you want to win a $25 gift certificate that you can use that night or anytime, the phone lines are open. Make a comment right here. And I think the only place we can see comments right now is on the Facebook page. I'm trying to figure out how to see them on YouTube as well. Live. I can see them after the fact. Make a comment here. Starting right now, you have 5 minutes about why you should win a $25 gift certificate. And Jeff Plant, you're probably not going to win tonight. Nope, no state senators are going to join us. As a rule, Jim, I don't like having politicians at these events. As a rule, Jim Goss, I don't like having politicians on the show. It's Ash Wednesday. Nothing I can do about that, Dennis. I wish I would have known that, but there's nothing I can do about that. The event is scheduled. I scheduled it before I realized it was Ash Wednesday, and it is what it is. But it'll be on Ash Wednesday then, which is, we're still going to get a good turnout. It'll be nice. We'll have fun. So please join us for that. 989-343-0892. 989-343-0892. And get on the comments right now and tell Scott Buttrick from the Forward Corporation, who is standing by, why you should win that $25 gift certificate, and you have 5 minutes starting right now. In the meantime, let's talk some knives. This is what we're going to talk about tonight, right? Everybody, I think, should have a good knife in their pocket. This is my everyday carry knife. It's a small buck knife. It is a foldable knife, right? What we used to call jackknives. We don't call them jackknives anymore. We call them folding knives, folding blades. And this rides in my pocket every night. They do have good food, Randy. They have very good food. I use this thing all the time. If I don't have it in my pocket, I find myself reaching for, oh, look, you can see my name on there. It was signed by Chuck Buck. Signed this blade, Chuck Buck of Buck Knives. Unfortunately, this is not a U.S.-made blade, but still, I like the size of the knife. There you can see it right there. Chuck Buck to Mike Avery. So I like having this type of a knife in my pocket on a daily basis. I use this thing every day and sometimes multiple times a day. Now, if you want to talk about very useful knives, I don't think there is a more useful knife than this. What is this? This is the Swiss Army knife. I'm not going to pull the blades out on this because there are so many, but just know there are multiple blades. There are screwdrivers. There are can openers. There are punches. I mean, I'll take out one blade. If you're looking for a versatile knife, you just can't beat a Swiss Army knife. The problem I have with it is it's a little bit big to carry in your pocket. So what I do is I put this in my pack when I'm hunting. Okay, still looking for comments here about why you should want to go to the Lumberjack. You've got about, oh, that's going to be a hard one to beat, Bill. That's going to be a hard one to beat. You got 3 more minutes for the Lumberjack. 3 more minutes, and it looks like you probably got to beat Bill Hoffman's. 49 still carry the same knife. That size buck is his boot knife. Excellent. You still carry the same knife your dad gave when you were 13. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. In fact, let's go up the line here. When I start looking at knives that I actually use, a hunting knife, this is my go-to hunting knife. It is a very tiny blade. This is a custom knife by a company, I don't even know if it's still in business, called Black Forest Knives. They used to be in Bay City. You can see how small it is, but this is my skinning and gutting knife. I like a small knife like this. I don't get carried away with the big blade. So this is kind of my go-to knife. Speaking now of knives that you got when you were a kid, this is a K-bar knife that my mom and dad gave me for Christmas when I was a kid. So this has some wonderful sentimental value. This is a very well-made knife. It's seen a lot of use. My mom and dad when I was a kid. So it has some sentimental value. And the size of this, I still think this is a very good size knife. I don't get carried away with great big knives. I think the smaller knives have a lot of value. Okay, we got about a minute and a half now still, and I'll continue to go through my lineup of knives here. A minute and a half if you would get to the Lumberjack restaurant. And the reason we're giving those away is we're going to be up there on the 26th for another edition of Wednesday Night Live. Rumor has it is the Senate is not going to give George Hartwell a hearing. In a sad twist, they're going to vote to remove most recent, I don't believe that, to remove Anna Mitterling. I don't believe that, Jane. I don't believe that. I think that is probably, I think that's probably just a rumor. I don't believe that. You got 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Steve Frame said he would love to go to the Lumberjack, just found out about this place, would love to win. 20 seconds to get your comments in, and then Scott Buttrick from the Forward Corporation will choose the winner. Marbles, the old Marbles knives is now called Rapid River Knives. I think he did go out of business. Well, I don't know, maybe he died, John. I don't know. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Contest is up. Yeah, Black Forest. Cutco. I've never heard of a Cutco. I'll wait to see who Scott chose. Which knife did I use on my bear hunt in Ontario? I used this one right here. Well, and then I actually notched the tag with this one right here, my good old buck knife. I've had this one since 2008. This is not an old knife. What is it, 12 years old now? Scott Buttrick. Who is the winner? You think it was obnoxious, Linda? That's why I did it. Cutco. A couple of other Cutcos. See, I've never heard of Cutco before. Waiting on Scott Buttrick to make his comment. Who won? Linda, that's something I do every contest. It's kind of a trademark I do. It's my warning buzzer that the contest is over, and I agree that it's obnoxious, but it's kind of fun. Waiting on Scott Buttrick to pick the winner of this week's Wednesday Night Live. 40 years, gut every deer. Yeah, you're a good sport, Linda. Use your 110 buck for 40 years. Gut every deer you've ever shot. Cool. QDMA of Michigan just sent out a Facebook alert to call your senator to stay of Anna's position. I still don't believe it, Jane. I will follow up on it. Because if it comes from the QDMA people, it has some authority. So I will follow up on it. The first time. Schrade knives are good ones. Derek Scott, congratulations. Derek, you have won this week's $25 gift certificate to the Forward Corporation Lumberjack Restaurant. Derek Scott, congratulations. Send me here in a private message your contact info, and we will have the folks from the Forward Corporation send off that gift certificate to you. However, if you're going to be joining us for the Wednesday Night Live, they'll just present it to you that night. So whatever you want to do. But Derek Scott, I'm going to write your name down, Derek Scott. Congrats. We're going to have a good time at the Bark River, now called Rapid River, yes. We're going to have a good time up there. Let me continue to work my way through my lineup of knives, okay? So far, I've shown you knives that were kind of small blades that I consider very, very functional. Let's switch gears here a little bit. Let's go into something like this. A larger blade, a much bigger blade, in more of a decorative knife. I would never actually use this. It is a beautiful knife given to me by Craig Plowman, my buddy Craig Plowman, Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation knife. This is a 2017 model. Gorgeous. I love the way that the blade is cut out like that. I think that is so cool. Craig told me to use this knife. I said, Craig, I can't. It's too pretty. It's too beautiful. I can't make myself use this knife. It would be a wonderful knife. To me, it's a decorative knife. If I was going to use a blade of that size, I would go to something like this. Again, this is just a little bit too big for me, though. This is another one of those Black Forest knives made by a Mike in Bay City. I think he's out of business, but somebody said he may have passed away. Of course I'm going to show that, Craig, you bet. Another beautiful, large, handmade knife that fits very well in your hand. It's a great grip on it, but I find myself not using it. Just because it's almost too pretty to use. Again, when I go to use a knife, it's going to be a smaller knife like this, or my everyday carry knife, a little buck knife like this. Then let's switch categories, okay? We've gone from the pocket knives to the big, beautiful ornamental knives. Let's talk about knives that you might use for fishing. What about a fillet knife? This is just a cheap Rapala. I still can't say Rapala. A cheap, flexible blade. Let me see if I can get a different angle on this to show you. A flexible blade. Okay. This is designed to clean fish with. To gut, skin, and fillet fish. Very versatile knife. You can use this for just about anything. But my favorite fishing knife of all, this bad boy right here. I don't know who makes this. I guess I could see if I'd put my glasses on, but I'm not going to. I call this a Manistee River breaker knife. I don't know what it really is called. I call it a breaker knife. This is what I use to fillet salmon, to cut through the bones on salmon, because you can see it's a pretty big knife. It takes a pretty big fish to use this knife on it. But I really, ooh, that one's dirty. That one's gross. I should have cleaned that one a little bit better. Oh, yeah, I should have cleaned that one. I apologize for that. But it does the job. It does the job very well. Stuart says, most pretty knives are not useful in the woods. A good 3.5-inch blade will do everything. Okay, so let's talk about a good 3.5-inch blade. That one right there is probably a 3-inch blade, and it'll do anything. This one's probably 4.5, 5-inch blade. So I agree with you. It'll do about anything. But is there anything more useful than a good knife? You know, I mean, not everybody can carry a gun. Not everybody wants to carry a gun. And you can't carry a gun everywhere. But a knife, and I'm not talking about a knife for protection necessarily. I'm just talking about a knife as a valuable tool that you can put in your pocket or on your belt, have it with you all the time. You can carry them just about anywhere. If you got them in your pocket, nobody's going to know. And I find myself reaching for my knife all the time. I use it all the time. I just think a good knife is a wonderful tool. And we have a lot of great knife companies here in Michigan. We've got the one over in Fremont, and I can't think of the name of it. In fact, I had him on the show here just a couple of weeks ago. We have the one up in Rapid River, used to be called something else River. We used to have Black Forest in Bay City. They're now out of business from what I can tell. But we have a lot of great knife companies. Rubber handle, Tim says a rubber handle Kershaw fillet knife is his favorite. Rambo had an awesome knife. Yeah, Rambo's knife was more like this, though, wasn't it, Ross? Or more like this. It looks almost like a pirate's. When I hold it at this angle right here, it looks almost like a pirate's sword, doesn't it? Bark River. Thank you, Gary. Looks like a Victorinox Forster knife. Yes, there Victorinox, and Swiss Army knife. What's the other name for that? They have an interesting relationship. You have a knife in your pocket since you were 8 years. Oh. Stay with me. Stay with me. I just thought of something. Do not go away. Thank you for reminding me about that. And I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Thank you for reminding me about that. Speaking of knives that have a very special place in a person's life, and thank you for reminding me. This is so special, I don't even dare to carry it. This was my grandpa's everyday carry knife. He had this in his pocket every day of his adult life. When he passed away, it ended up in my hands. And I'm telling you, this is one of my prized possessions. I try not to get too worked up about earthly things because they're not worth anything in the long run. But this knife right here, and this knife has seen better days, but this knife was given to me by my grandpa after carrying it every day of his adult life, and when he passed on, it ended up in my pocket. How cool is that? You can see the knife has had a lot of wear. He used it a lot. He kept he kept an edge on this thing that you could shave with. I am not blessed to be able to put that kind of an edge on a knife. But you could see where I had it. I had it up here on a shelf behind me because I treasure this so much, I don't even want to carry it because I used to carry it, and at one time I thought I lost it, and it broke my heart, and I'm not going to do that to myself again. Is it an old case? This one right here? All right, you're going to make me put my glasses on. You know I don't have to wear glasses for far away stuff anymore, right? But the close stuff, I can't tell you what this is. I have no idea what this is. Whatever it is, it's very well made. I will pass it along. I will pass it on, Craig. Whatever it is, it's very well made because that thing has stood up to the test of time. And isn't that, it is very special. I can see a lot of you appreciate just what that means to me. And you see where I had it. I had it on the shelf up there next to a couple of Bibles. That's how important that knife is to me. I keep it next to my Bibles back there. So that means I cherish it. But a good knife. I mean, I'm going to, right? Lots of different kinds. And I'm going to put these back down before one of them slips out of my hand and shish kebabs me. A knife is like any other tool. It might be an old timer, George. It might be an old timer. A dull knife is not a very valuable tool. A sharp knife is a very valuable tool. I'm not one of those guys who can take a whetstone and put a good edge on a knife. My dad could do that. I had my challenges with it. But a good knife is a great tool. And I'm glad that I actually took the time tonight to bring those out and show you. And I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you so much for reminding me about that one, of my granddad's knife. Again, I just don't, you can't put a value on something like this. It happens to be a hunting and fishing related item, but it was also an everyday tool for him. I saw him use this. I saw him carry this dozens and dozens of times. So to have this end up belonging to me is pretty cool. Ross says a dull knife is a dangerous knife. Absolutely. Yeah. Knives are tools, just like handguns. Like I showed the handguns here a couple of weeks ago. They're just tools. That's all they are. What else do we want to talk about? I got a few more minutes here. Okay. Free fishing weekend. We talked about that. My bear hunting video is now online. I do have a Lansky, Richard. I do have a Lansky. And that's about the only way I can put an edge on a knife is with a Lansky to hold that consistent edge. And I do have a Lansky, and that's what I use. I should have brought that out and showed it, shouldn't I? The bear hunt video, I think, turned out pretty well. I was pretty happy with it. After not editing video for many years, I decided to edit that video, and I think it turned out well. The interesting thing about that, if you have not seen that, or even if you have, check it out. About 95% of that video, and you can see it here on the Facebook page or the YouTube channel or the Vimeo channel, was shot with my phone. These things are such valuable tools these days. Here, I'll change. This is how I'm changing my angles here. Let's see. Catch up with me here now. There we go. Oh, no, this is the one I want right here. This phone right here is the one that I used to shoot most of that bear hunting video. They're extremely valuable tools for me these days. I now have an app on this thing called Double Take. How is the DNR pausing all tag and license sales for 4 days over the free fishing weekend? Well, because they don't need licenses this weekend. It only makes sense. This is a good time to do it. Double Take. If you're into this stuff like I am and you have a multi-lens camera, check out Double Take. It's a free, what kind of bow do I use? I use a Predator recurve. It's a free download that allows you to shoot with multiple cameras at one time. And it is so, so slick and so, so sweet. But you know, I'm a geek. I love this kind of stuff. So please check out my bear hunting video, either here on the Mike Avery Outdoors Facebook page, here on the Mike Avery Outdoors YouTube channel, or I don't like the Tacticams. And I don't like the GoPros either. Said, how about mentioning it? I'm not following you, James. Hello, Jeff. How are you? Nice to have you along with us. The Tacticams are too wide. To me, they wouldn't be much benefit. And the GoPros, they're okay, but they're not. I don't love them because I have a hard time getting them to connect. Okay, the bear hunt, check that out. Let's talk once again about the Wednesday Night Live coming up on the 26th. I did not realize that was Ash Wednesday, but it is what it is. Video or stills? Video, Tim. Video. It's designed to shoot multiple lenses of video. And it is sweet. You'll like it. You'll like it a lot. It's one of those things that's very, very cool. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. We're going to go the 26th. It'll be a Wednesday Night Live. We'll go live at 7 o'clock, just like we did tonight. What program did I use? I used Final Cut Pro for editing, Ross. Thank you, Mike. Tell me what you think of it. Good evening, John. How are you? Nice to have you along with us. By the way, my name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live on the Mike Avery Outdoors Facebook page, the Mike Avery Outdoors YouTube channel, and the Mike Avery Outdoors Vimeo channel. We've been talking about some things tonight, including knives, how beneficial a good knife can be, how useful a good knife can be, and went through some different styles of knives, from small knives like that to Swiss Army knives to big, beautiful ornamental knives to big fillet knives for fishing. There is a knife for every need. Anything you can come up with, they make a knife about it. Maybe you talked about this, but what's this all I see about the sanctuary counties for Second Amendment? Jeff, I have not talked about it because to me, it doesn't carry any weight. I am, of course, in favor of Second Amendment rights. I am in favor of concealed carry. I am in favor of no restrictions on guns. I don't believe in gun control at all. But the sanctuary city, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't carry any weight. So I'm not going to get too excited about it. It makes a statement of some kind, but let's put our efforts on things that are actually going to make a difference. That's the way I look at it. Thank you, James. Appreciate that. Yeah, 25 yards. It's amazing how quick that slow-moving arrow out of that recurve bow put that thing down. Christine says the fish at the Lumberjack is awesome. Will you be joining us that night, Christine? Congrats to Derek Scott for winning a $25 gift certificate. I listened to your podcast on iHeart. Your third hour isn't available this week. Well, Nate, I apologize for that. The third hour was posted on my end. It showed up on all my other feeds, including Apple and Google, but I will check that. Thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate it. A lot of these things I wouldn't know if people didn't point them out. Again, at our Wednesday Night Live, Darton's going to be there. Michigan Brand's going to be there. Speedy Blaze is going to be there. Versaskin's going to be there. Paul Phillips, one of the best extreme long-range shooters in the world, is going to be there. We'd love to have you there. Wednesday Night Live on the 26th. Call for reservations, 989-343-0892. It's one of the Forward Corporation beautiful facilities. If you haven't been there before, I'd love to have you join us. 989-343-0892. There is no fee to join us. It won't cost you anything. However, you're going to have to buy your own dinner. I'm not buying your dinner for you, but I might give you some free prizes, including a dart and crossbow we're going to give away, and some Mike Avery Hunter sticks from Michigan Brand Meat we're going to give away as well. It's okay, Bob. Better late. Hey, I make no judgments because you can go back and look at this later. So how cool is that? Kevin Rout, how are you? Jeff says he agrees on the whole Second Amendment thing, yeah. Let's put our efforts on activities that make a difference. There is a certain political party and a certain way of looking things that they believe in symbolism, and they believe in public relations campaigns, and they talk about a message more than doing something. Well, let's put our efforts and our time on things that make a difference. And declaring a county a 2A, a Second Amendment sanctuary county, doesn't do anything. It doesn't accomplish anything. It carries no legal teeth from what I can figure out. If I'm wrong, please let me know. While we're on the political, you're leaving Grace home so she can't win the crossbow, hey? Ross, but you're going to check in. You're going to FaceTime us from White River, and I'm going to put my phone camera on yours, Ross, so we will be able to check in. One last point before we go, and again, congrats to Derek Scott. Let's talk about George Hartwell being appointed by the governor as the chairman of the NRC, the Natural Resources Commission. A little background, the NRC is the overseeing body for the DNR, the governing body for the DNR. It is a 7-member panel. It is appointed by the governor. NRC commissioners do not get paid. The governor appoints them. You can have no more than 4 Republicans or no more than 4 Democrats on them at the same time. Elza says she thinks they taste a little too pickly. And that's fine, Elza. Everybody has their own taste, and I get that. Not everybody's going to love those things, but most people do. James says, let's focus on getting kids in the outdoors. Absolutely. Absolutely. So George Hartwell, the complaint about him, the knock on him is that he is an anti-gun, anti-hunter, anti-gun guy and anti-hunter. Other than his statements at the Grand Rapids City Council or City Commission meeting, I can find nothing that documents that. And his comments at the City Council or City Commission meeting were in reference to guns in schools. Can we make the jump by saying he's against guns in schools to say that he's also against guns and hunting? I'm not sure that we can make that jump. Evening, Lori. How are you? But a lot of people out there are saying he's an anti-hunter and an anti-gun person. I hope and pray that's not the case, because we do not need a chairman of the NRC who is like that. Some people I know who know him firsthand say he's not like that. He's a good guy. But there's a lot of backlash out there. He has not been confirmed yet by the Senate. All NRC commissioners have to be, they're appointed by the governor, but they're confirmed by the Senate, and the Senate has 60 days to do that. If you feel strongly enough about this, and I'm not saying that I do, but if you feel strongly enough about this, you should contact your state senator and tell them you do not want this guy confirmed. Now, before I'm going to do that, I'm going to do a little bit more research and try to find something more about the guy. Somebody was saying this morning on the Wednesday Night Live, I don't think so, Lori. Please send it to me again. Brian says he's anti-gun and Democrat. Don't need to know any more than that. But think about this, Brian. The reason he's a Democrat, Kevin says he's for sure anti-gun. The reason he's a Democrat is he has to be a Democrat. The governor had to appoint a Democrat because there can't be more than 4 Republicans on the commission. So she had to appoint a Democrat. I would like to think somewhere in our state we could have found dozens of people, though, who didn't appear to be anti-gun people, who openly embraced guns and shooting and hunting. Again, this is we will know more about this as time goes on, but right now I think there are a lot of people, and justifiably so, that are concerned about this. This whole thing with the NRC being political hacks or shills, I can't go that far, but they are appointed by the governor, right? So we'll see. All right. Time to wrap this thing up. So anyway, if you're joining us on the YouTube channel for the first time, thank you. How did you like it? What did you think? But Bernie, do we know he's not a hunter? I agree with you. If he's not a hunter, he should be. We should not have an NRC commissioner who is not a hunter or an angler. I agree with that completely. But do we know this guy is not a hunter? I don't know that. If anybody, if you have more on this guy, if you have more proof or more evidence, please send it to me. A lot of people saying time to end the NRC. That would be a big job in itself, wouldn't it? Congrats to Derek Scott for winning our gift certificate. Again, we'd love to have you join us for Wednesday Night Live on the 26th at the Lumberjack Restaurant. Call for reservations 989-343-0892. 989-343-0892. Again, thank you for allowing me to share this image, this video of this wonderful, beautiful family heirloom, family keepsake, a knife that my grandpa had that he gave to me. And I had this out tonight because we were talking about knives and what wonderful tools they are. Is there published criteria that the governor has to use to appoint? Jamie Joe, that's a great question. There is, and I talked about it on the radio show this morning, and let me see if I can, all right, I might have time for this, Jamie Joe. Let me check here real quick, and I might be able to pull this up here. Thank you for asking. That's a very, very good question. Here we go. And the Natural Resource Commission is a 7-member public body whose members are appointed by the governor. Okay, I'll go down to the next slide. A member of the commission shall be selected with special reference to that person's training and experience related to at least one of the principal lines of activities vested in the DNR and the ability and fitness of that person to deal with those activities. That's as much that's as many specifics as I can find. All right, my friends, 989-343-0892 to make reservations for our Wednesday Night Live. Congrats to Derek Scott for winning that $25 gift certificate. We will give away another one next week. In the meantime, you have a wonderful night, and thank you for joining me on this edition